Okay, it says I am live. Give it a few seconds for notifications to drop. So excited. Hey girl, hey. You're my first in line. Hope you're enjoying that delicious steak. I don't know what we're going to have. I'm not even hungry. I had big lunch. Okay, let's do this. Yes. So we're going to give it a few moments because I know I think Linda um, and the ladies are on right now with their Akashic adventures, doing Akashic readings. So, hey, girl, hey. So, and everybody watching on playback, thank you. So, yes, Heather's got a birthday coming up in a couple of weeks. Yay. And to people who are watching on playback, Ange of Roots and Waves had me pick out a deck, and she had it ordered for me as a gift to be delivered. And apparently last Wednesday it was delivered. However, it wasn't there. So either one of two things happened. Either the carrier delivered it to the wrong building, or it was snatched as soon as it was delivered. And it probably was snatched because I did talk to a another fellow tenant. Hi, Sandy. Um, Actually, yesterday, and he's been here for like 15 years, and he says it's just gone downhill, and he's actually leaving as well. And he says since he's been here, he's had at least 5 packages stolen. So Ange went ahead and just sent me a gift card, to use, and I ended up getting a different deck. I relooked at my list and I went, oh, no, I want that one. So I was on that delivery app like a hawk today, making sure. And the minute I saw the little carrier on the screen moving closer, I got downstairs and I waited for him. And I let him know too, about what was going on with packages being stolen. So, anywho, it arrived. It is here. And so the deck that I got is look how thick this book is. It's incredible. Is the Magical Botanical Oracle. And it's Plants from the Witch's Garden by Maxine Miller and Christopher Penzick. Christopher Penzick is a well known Wiccan author. And Maxine Miller, oh my God, her statuary, her art is incredible. I told you, girl, you're going to like this deck. This might be a Heather made me do it for you. Um, and she's done so many beautiful sculptures of different goddesses and gods. She's got a couple of Bridget that I'm in love with, of the Morgan, of Danu. Just she's an incredibly talented artist and apparently illustrator. So she illustrated this deck, and I mean the size of the deck compared to the book. I mean, this is really, got a wealth of information in it. The artwork, of course, is some of it's just like the cards. I mean, it is just beautiful. Look at that, just very well made. And there's that skull. You will be my death. So this is very unlike Heather, but I came across this deck um, about 2 months ago. Amy, Mystic Rose Tarot, who was a guest with Nancy and I for our Divine Feminine back in, I think it was October, September, October. She did a live and she had these two cards out, and I'm like, oh, Amy, what deck is that? And she told me, and I was just like, oh my goodness. So Yes. And one of the things that I was reading up a little bit about, they give their little bit of history. And I love what it says here under plant spirits from the witch's garden. Um, each of these cards embodies a living plant spirit, not an archetype or idea, but an entity rooted in the material world of the flora, while living in the mystical dimensions between the seemingly ordinary world and the world of spirits. When approached properly, they act as healers, teachers, and guides to those of us who dare to seek them out. Hey, Christina, good day, my dear. How are you? Um, so it says here too, along with this vitality, everything has potential intelligence to communicate with if we can relate to it. The vital energy and intelligence together are the animating force of all things. The force, basically. Um, much of our much of our most universal magic is about harnessing this energy or communicating with the intelligence of something, getting it to operate in our favor. Let's see, there was something else I loved here because this is going to be quite the read, this book. Christina, look how thick this book is. Wow. And Christina, I got one of my birthday decks today from Ange, thanks to Ange. And it's the Botanical Oracle, Plants from the Witch's Garden by Maxine Miller and Christopher Penzick. And Maxine Miller's the illustrator. And it says here, each type of plant has its own overarching collective spirit, considered by some the group soul or oversoul, which this is new to me, oversoul, or deva of the plant. This overarching intelligence manifests in the plants found at individual locations. You and I might both have rose bushes of the same species, and they are both connected to that rose oversoul of power and magic. But those rose bushes in my garden have a personal relationship with me, and the rose bushes in your garden have a personal relationship with you. This concept is akin to the idea of the collective consciousness of humanity, a group a group repository of wisdom for our species, but we each have individual personal memory and consciousness. And the collective of humanity and the collective of individual plant species, along with everything else, overlap and interact in our dreams, meditations, and rituals, just as they do in the physical environment, for we are all interconnected and interdependent. Oh, this is going to be quite an interesting read. This is going to take quite some time. Um, oh, and I love this. By the balms and the banes and sacred tree teachers of old, by the mystery of the gardens and the wisdom untold, by the forest, by the hedge, by the bog of the deep, we call to the green ones. We conjure the tears of joy and of sorrow that we all weep. Open the gates, show us the way, teach us the mysteries beneath the star covered night and the light of day. Blessed be. This is beautiful. And each of the cards has, on the cards, their elements. Their elements. Christina, I'm good. Just hot. It's going to be 34 degrees today. So, okay, so that would probably be like around 80s, or maybe around 90s here, Fahrenheit for us. There's a plant. Whoop, there is a plant guide as well. Look at the little fairy on the back. Isn't that cute? Little little sprite. And there are ones in here that are considered well, they're poisonous. They're toxic, so they let you know. And so each card you get a magical meaning. Whoops. Each card you get a magical meaning, a plant spirit medicine, I think reverse division. See, I don't do reversals, but that's okay. Divination meaning, So, okay. So yes, and this is through Los Scarabeo or Los Scarabeo. So hopefully some more people will join us. I tried doing it around a time where, people might be done with dinner or, or just about to start dinner and they had some time to watch. So let's get to it, shall we? So these are the backs. Isn't that beautiful? And the very first card is the back. It's called The Witch's Garden. And it's in color. Oh my God, these are so beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Well, I'm going backwards. Oh, well, let me turn this around. That was the last card. Here we go. Card number 1. Angel's Trumpet. Datura. Yeah. Brugmansia. Suaveolens. Yeah, I was going to have to learn. But the font is beautiful. It's almost kind of like pages out of a book of shadows. And it's really intricate artwork. I don't know how well my camera's going to pick it up, but just incredible artwork. Love it. And unfortunately, they left Heather out, but maybe sometime in the future she'll do another one. This came out in 2020. Next one up is Belladonna. So this feels very High Priestess to me. Try to get up, you can see her face. Yeah, again, it's not very clear on my end, but there is Belladonna. Bleeding Hearts. And there she gives the signs for the ones. I'm looking for the signs on this one here. Okay, I see it. So on here, they're on the steps. So it changes. Oh, if you don't like nudity, look away. But here is Calla Lily. Allison, this feels a lot like your Fyodor Pavlov. Fyodor, yeah, your Fyodor. I don't think it's a Fyodor Pavlov deck. That's on my list too. This would be a great Oracle deck to pair with that deck. There's all the associations there. It's in more skulls. So yeah, that's why I fear this deck would kind of be up your alley, girl. Camellia. And she's emerging out of the flower. So this is apparently an Asian flower. Look how they did that. Camellia japonica. So for Japan, japonica. I really wish I had a better camera on this iPad. It is just stunning, the intricacy of her line work and her art. It's gorgeous, and I always love black and white decks, and it's botanical. Perfect. It's beautiful. And of course, cannabis made it in here. Not Heather, but cannabis. So there's the cannabis one. So here's the Bobby card. So maybe we can conjure Bobby. Bobby Farrell, where are you? So there's the cannabis card. Dandelion. It's kind of got like a dragon's head. Like I said, it's hard to see on the. But this is going to be quite the undertaking. I just love. I mean, I'm not a green witch at all. That would have been my mother. But I'm just getting really cool vibes off this deck. And here we go. We got Dragon Tree, Dracana, Draco. So that maybe we can get Jonathan now. Draco, Dracovid. So there is the dragon. Again, kind of hard to see. Fly Agaric. Oh, we got a fox in here, and we got a bunny. So there's the fox, there's the little bunny or hare down there, a couple little fairies hanging out underneath the toadstools. So there's that one. Yep, a little bit of color, not too much. And here's Hellbore. Look at that. And Maxine was mentioning in the beginning, she's been doing illustrations for Paper Moon since the late 70s, she said. Let's see. Yes. My entry to the world of professional illustrating was via a card company called Paper Moon Graphics in the late 1970s. Back then, I painted charming and whimsical subjects like unicorns, pirates, and fairies. So she ended up coming across depictions later on in different types of art. And she saw the intricacies of the plants and wanted to start doing a more detailed study of them. So, yes. Okay, so this one here, what's it called? It's called You'll My Death, You Will Be My Death. Canium Malacum. And Alison will like that one. So there's the skull. That's really interesting. I can find this one in the book. I'm trying to figure out what the actual, or if that's just a random. Okay, there's Hellbore. Oh, so this is Hemlock. She didn't write That's weird why she didn't write the word hemlock on here. But apparently this is Hemlock. So yes, Latin name Canium maculatum. So you will be my death. That's weird that she did not write hemlock in here on the card like she did the other ones. I wonder why. Maybe she'll explain in the book. Lovely 70s with a slate of Art Deco. Yes, Sandy, that's exactly what she mentioned. The Pre-Raphaelites and the Art Nouveau, the Art Deco. Exactly. Next one is Henbing. She's really cool. I love the black background on some of these. She's got some black backgrounds. And I love that on cards. Has a very Helena Bonham Carter feel to it. And even though I don't like snakes, this is still a pretty cool card. The artwork. And a couple of skull figures in there. It's kind of hard to see again, but you see the little figures. These are all little skeletal figures. And let's see, Holly. We have the Holly. Really nice, the Holly King represented. This is very unusual for me. Ivy. Lavender. Really, really intricate. Let's see. So she did another one. So it's called Love Lies Bleeding. I think this is the Bleeding Hearts. No, it just says Love Lies Bleeding. Amaranthus. Amaranthus. Caudatus. Amaranthus caudatus. of lice bleeding. Okay. I'll have to find a little bit more later, but there's that one. Almost looks like, I don't know what kind of plant that is. I wonder why she did it. I want to say bleeding hearts, but those aren't bleeding hearts. It almost kind of looks like a grapevine of some type to me. But yeah, that's just really cool artwork. And Mandrake. It is Sandy. She's really detailed. And again, her statuary is amazing. I thought I had one of hers, but I think it's by the Dryad Company and not a Maxine Miller. But my goal one of these days is to get a Maxine Miller. But that will be once. It's kind of hard to see, but he's got a fun face there. Yeah, my camera doesn't want to bring it catch that. So apologize for not being able to see it very well. But these are extremely detailed. Moonflower. She has a beautiful, and some of her statues you can get in like the green resin, and then you can get the bronze. The bronze are beautiful. I've been actually seeing her since my 30s in Arizona. One of the local stores carried her. And let's see, we have the Oak King. Very lovely design. Hands coming up here. Very, very cool. Here's one with a little bit of color. Now, Bobby's going to love this because he loves poppies. So there's poppies. Little figure coming out of the poppy. Another one right down here. No, it's really hard to see. I'm even going to have to like probably do this and then look down to be able to. It's just incredible. There's like a deer skull in there. There's a green man up on the wooden wall. Just incredible. I mean, the amount of detail. Papaver somniferum orientale or tale. There's that. Oh, Bobby will like this one. It's interesting. For Rose, they put her on the Kabbalah tree, the tree of life. And again, those who may not like nudity, there she is. This is Rose. Very interesting that he chose this for her to choose this for the rose. But there we go. Tom might like that one too, because of the Kabbalah. And we have rue, which is the herb of grace. The key, the moon, little sword, the rooster head, little flower head. Very nice. Very cool. Sorcerer's Violet. Oh, she's fun. Now, I would have liked to have seen that it's Sorcerer's Violet. It would have been nice to maybe seen some purple in this, but that's okay. If I was good at coloring, I'd be like coloring in these cards with my pencils. It's incredible the art people can do by using colored pencils and doing the grading, the gradation and stuff in colored pencil. But nope, not good to touch these. Oh, here's the sunflower. I love this one. Look at all the bees. Very nice. Very, very nice. There's the sunflower. And a little guy hanging up out there at the top is a chariot. Oh, so it's a chariot being, okay. So it's a chariot being drawn by the bees. instead of horses, they're bees. Okay, thistle. None touch me with impunity. Oh, wow. So again, Celtic knotwork in the hearts. It's got a face there. We got a dude. Sword. And there we go. And again, the descriptions in the book written is going to be by Christopher Penzick, who is a Wiccan witch author. He's got a book on Reiki too that I bought. Didn't resonate with, but yeah, he's well known. In the pagan community. There doesn't seem to be repetition. Each card is unique. Exactly, Sandy. Exactly. Thorn apple. Datura. Samonium. Samonium. And what does it say here? Oh my God, the writing on some of these are so tiny. Eat a little and go to sleep. Eat a little more and have a dream. Eat a little more and wake no more. So there's thorn apple. Wow. They're beautiful. Yeah, the sunflower. Like the sunflower. That's cool. Now here is the vine. So we've got vine, Muin. I'm assuming this is like Bacchus. This is Pan. The grapes. Bacchanalia. So there's the vine. So now I would have liked to have seen some of those purples in the violet card. That's okay. He's fun. The willow. See, now what he's doing in the willow is what I used to do when I was younger. I would journal and I would write under my willow trees. That's beautiful. I love that. Nice memories. Sulax alba. Salix alba. The willow. Very sweet. Ooh, wolfsbane. And of course, we got some wolves. Oh, some werewolves. There we go. Very, very cool. What's this down here? Oh, so they're mentioning now in this one here, she's mentioning, oh, Kristen would love this. They're mentioning ruins, Nordic ruins. Uruz, Elgies, Tiwaz, Howilo, Kanat, and Manaz. I love every single one of them too. There's something beautiful and unique. I don't really know how I'm going to read, but when I'm done, I'm going to shuffle. And if anybody would like a card, Wormwood. Got some skulls rocking this one too. It's just fascinating. Between like her artwork and mine, it's like when I do mine, I see figures and I see faces and stuff, and mine are more abstract, more, dreamlike, where hers are solid. They're inked, they're detailed, they're right there. But when you look at it, you can see. I mean, I look at the butterfly wings coming off of that off of her, and the design, how the images just bring you right through the picture. Excuse me. Oh, they are, Allison. I love willow trees. I was so sad when I drove by my childhood house last year and saw that they had chopped down my willow tree in the front yard. And then there's one that's still somewhat there at a sanctuary, a nature sanctuary, about half hour, 45 minutes away from here in Clarence that I used to go to in my 20s. Yeah, can't get too under it anymore. It's too overgrown now. Next one, Yarrow. And this feels very Greco-Roman So I love the touch of Greco-Roman in there. Very, very cool. And the lips too. If you people are familiar with pre-Raphaelite, especially Gabriel, can't think of. I can see his artwork, but his women had the same shaped lips, very similar to that. Um, Gabriel Rossetti. I think Rossetti was the last name. Oh wow! Look at you! Look at you! Actually, that I mean it. I'm going to have to take my glasses off and to get a really good look at the detail. But I think this feels very Hecate. There's the skulls. There's the torch. She carries a torch. Um, do see a man's face there though. See if I can get this in a little closer. I don't know if y'all can see. Then there's another face right there. What are in here? Yes, those are dogs. This is very much a kate. There's a snake there. There's oh those aren't men. Those are actual dogs. So these are the hounds of Hecate. Yeah. Oh yeah. Like I said, there's no way. And I've been sharing my new deck with everybody. My birthday deck, and you arrived just for the last card. And the last card was what I first showed in the beginning. It's called the Witch's Garden. And there it is. So Ange, I got me something very, very different. Ange, this is the deck that Amy had. She had two cards on her reading table when she did her last live. This is the deck I got, Ange. The Magical Botanical Oracle by Maxie Miller and Christopher Penzick. Girl, the artwork. They left Heather out, but the artwork is just absolutely incredible. It's going to take me a while to kind of connect and work because I don't resonate a lot with herbs and green witchery, but the artwork is just absolutely stunning. Um, and I'll learn a little bit here and there. Um, there's some of the ivy. So yeah, Allison and Sandy and Christina have been hanging out with me, um, looking at some of these. Look at the rose. Look at that. That's something. Thank you, my dear. And I'm sorry this turned out to be such a headache for you. But when I saw the time frame, I kept checking, every half hour. And then finally I started seeing that little, you know, they haven't changed it into a sleigh yet for the holidays, but it showed where the truck was 8 stops away, 6 stops away. So I went and I stood right outside. Yeah, isn't that beautiful? That last card, Kristen. So it's my birthday's early, but Kristen, look at this one card. I was just talking about you. There's a lot of us that reflect in this. I'm trying to find the card. Which everybody coming in, check out that Belladonna. Is she not the high priestess? She is so, so, so cool. Um, but Kristen, one of these cards was listing rooms on it. And for people. Oh, and Kristen, you will love this one. Check her out. Kala Lily. I think she's kind of got a little bit of a Lilith vibe to her, don't you think? The sexy, the independent, the death card, the rebirth. But there was one, and these are the backs of all of them. The backs are absolutely beautiful. Um, but I have to find that one for you, Kristen. There is a mandrake in here as well. Very, very cool. This is the one that Allison's favorite. This is the Witch's Garden. This is the last one in the deck. It's the back, but with color. And And Kristen too, Hecate made it in here. It's hard to tell, but those are her two hounds right there. And then she's got a snake running up her arm, and then she's got her torch and the triple goddess at the top. Um, Here we go. Oh, it's Wolfbane, Kristen. Wolfsbane. It has Uruz, Algiz, Tiwaz, Sohilo, Kenat, and Manaz. Check that out. The ravens for Odin. There's the wolf. There's the runes. Got a couple werewolves. Then there's the green man. That's where they mention the runes, and the decks give the symbols for the moon, the planets and the elements and stuff. This is just, no one's going to really be able to see the intricacy of this deck when I use it, unless they have it. I mean, it is just an incredible. We got Bacchus, there's the vine, the grapevine. Thor and Apple, Datura. She's very cool. Yeah. And of course, one of me and Allison's favorites, the sunflower chariot being drawn by little bees, little bumblebees or honeybees. Of course, for those who like the cannabis, they have cannabis in here as well. Let's see. There's just so many of them. Oh, and dragon, the dragon tree, Dracena Draco, or Draco. Very, very cool. So yes, this is going to be quite the. It's going to take me a while to read through because of currently working on mine, on my deck. I'm really just focusing on that right now. But aside from the snake, look at the henbane. She is really, really cool too. I love the black background. You will be my death. There's that one there. Can't remember again which one that is. Was it henbane? No. Number 11. Hemlock. It's weird. It's the only thing I couldn't figure out is why. And the other one, a lot of the other ones, say right in there what the herb is, or the plant is. But in this one they didn't. You have to find it in the book. But it's hemlock. Oh, I must have missed that one when I was in the kitchen. That one is awesome. The henbane, Allison, that one. Oh, the wolf. Oh, yeah, that one's really cool. I like that one. Yes, yes, yes. So, yeah, it's gonna have me sitting with the my glasses up, just being able to look at all these. And then there's the hellbore. She's really lovely. And if you love her illustrations, check out her website and places. She has incredible statuary for gods and goddesses. I've seen her do Hecate, I believe. I know she's got one for Morgan. I think Kristen, she's got one for Lilith. She has one for Danu, Bridget. She has some of the male ones as well. And there's the flyer, Garrick. Got the fox and the little rabbit in there. Yeah, just phenomenal. Just very, very and a great deck. A deck I know that's going to pair well with this is my Hush Tarot, because it has to do with nature. It's inked, and so it has to do with death and decay. I mean, these are going to pair really nicely together. Very happy about that. So, whoop. And they're not sticky or glossy. Can you hear that? Oh, I love that sound. That's a nice, not, yeah, it's one of those coatings that just sounds wonderful. Like rustling paper, like soft sandpaper. That's beautiful. So, would anybody like a card? I still have some time. I'm sparing an hour for this. So, if any of you ladies would like a card, let me know. Deeply rooted wisdom from Roots and Waves. Exactly. Thank you, Ian. Let's see. My new Earth and Bone Oracle makes that noise. Love it. Oh, I know. Isn't that a beautiful sound? I think that's a deck I noticed too. That Nancy has. Is it Earth and Bone? There's one with those words in the title that are really beautiful. So Ange and Kristen. Allison, you want one? Hello, Moira. Moira, you just missed. I went through all my cards in my new deck. You'll have to watch the replay and see the artwork. Okay, so Ange got Hellbore. So there's the Hellbore again. So I'm just going to go ahead in case between Ange, I say Kristen would like one. Allison, I'm going to get you one, girl. I got to. This is such a badass deck. I have to get you one. Alrighty, so, and this is the book that goes, and she's like, me. I gotcha. Like I say, you're not getting away from me on this one, on this deck, girl. Let me tell you. Let's start. So Hellbore. So yeah, this is a thick book. Hellbore, not Hemlock. So let's see. Latin name Hellborus Niger. Planets are Venus, Saturn, and Mars. Okay, Christina, I gotcha. Element of water. So again, even the book, you know, the artwork, everything's all beautifully done in here. The magical meanings. So let's see. Hellebore is a potent poison, warning us of its nature by burning the mouth when consumed and burning the skin with its sap when touched. This quality indicates its power as a powerful and caustic force to set boundaries and offer protection. Sandy above. Yes, I got her. Thank you, Kristen, my dear. Thank you. So let's see. Where was this quality indicates its power as a powerful caustic force to set boundaries and offer protection. In an incense, it is used to consecrate Saturn talismans and for calling the power of Mars. In folk magic, Hellbore would be used ritually to protect cattle from the malign influence of witches. Ooh. Despite this, Hellebore is also a plant associated with witchcraft and the witch goddesses Hecate and Caradwyn. The root is most often used in necromancy and to gain knowledge or inspiration from the unseen forces of the dark. It's pronounced Hellebore, okay, or Hellebore, okay, Hellebore. Okay, where was I? Okay, these qualities are lent by its less obvious feature. It blooms in the winter time, often under the snow, giving it the name Christmas rose, and its growing nature is often at the edge or within forests, though it can also take full light. Another variety, Helleborus orientalis, blooms closer to Easter and is named the Lenten or Easter rose, despite hellebore being in the buttercup and not the rose family. So it's part of the buttercup family. The ground up roots of hellebore is sprinkled in a circle around oneself for invisibility. So let's see. Plant spirit medicine. The deeper mystery of hellebore is in the darkness, the subtle, the stillness, and the silence. Its healing magic is for those who feel like they are unseen and invisible or unloved and underappreciated. Yeah. It aids any solitary healing process where we have to be alone with our pain, grief, and hurt, where we must find the love of the divine, of the goddess on our own. Hellebore can help us feel protected during our healing, but also assists us in dealing with the feelings of isolation. Yeah, the invisibility cloak. Through our pain, we can awaken to a deeper level of mystical awareness. Beautiful. And divination, meaning hellebore is found in a reading when we need alone time to be unseen and unheard, to reflect upon our own life and our own path. The spirit is gazing off in her own direction, unconcerned about us, doing her own work, and hellebore teaches us how to do the same. We might need to set the boundaries of our alone time more aggressively, as others could impede and pressure us to support their needs. When we are alone and unseen, we will bloom. That is beautiful. Mm-hmm. Hellebore, especially known for thriving in the dark. Yep, that's what it said on earlier. Exactly. So there you go, Ange. My first reading with my new deck. Thank you, thank you, thank you, my dear. So let me start shuffling. Actually, I'm going to set my coffee aside and get some water instead. Alone time. Yep, heading into hermit year. Okay, so I am. Thank you, my dear. Thank you, thank you. So next up is Kristen Louise. So Kristen, you got Yarrow. The very like Greco-Roman or Greco-Roman. So there's the Yarrow. Achillea millefolium. Wingardium Leviosa. So Yarrow. Let's go to the back of the book. Back, all the way back. Oh, and there's affirmations that go with them too? Oh, wait a minute. What was Hellebore? Oops, sorry, Ange. I missed your affirmation. So, affirmation: I am silent and still to hear the voice of the goddess. So perfect going into your hermit year. Okay, so Yarrow. There's you and Yarrow. So planets: Venus, of course, Kristen, Venus and Mars. So the elements of water, air, and earth are connected. So, and as an herb of Venus, yarrow has traditionally been used in love and beauty spells. Growing by doorways and the edges of paths, it is said to promote fidelity for the home and family, and is used in love charms, potions, and incense. Medicinally, it is associated with battle, as its Latin name references the warrior Achilles, who was said to use this herb to staunch bleeding from a wound. The teacher physician Chiron, the centaur, offers it to Achilles, and it was still being used on the battlefield as recently as World War I. Very interesting. The association with blood and the iron within the blood also gives its rulership to Mars and makes it an herb of protective and defensive magic, particularly against harmful magic and unwanted entities. Likewise, being associated with the harvest near midsummer, otherwise known as the summer solstice, it can attract helpful and playful fairy beings as used in trance and dream magic, both for protection and spirit contact. Since it heals cut skin, it is considered a beauty aid in clearing and beautifying the complexion. And in China, stalks of yarrow were traditionally used for divination by I Ching hexagrams, a practice now spread across the world, though today more, although, wait a minute, a practice now spread across the world, though today people more commonly use coins. Let's see. Okay, explaining what was, okay, gotcha. So yeah, that deck wasn't meant to be. It was this one. So very, very cool. And I was telling Allison her Fyodor, um, I keep wanting to say Fyodor Pavlov. That I believe that's the last name. I know it's Fyodor, the Fyodor Tarot. That would be perfect pairing. So that is definitely on my list to go and pair with this along with the Jeremy, the Hush Tarot. So when it comes to plant spirit medicine, the essence of yarrow is one of boundaries and borders, controlling the flow and passage of forces between, like a sentinel at the gate. While in herbalism, it closes the wounds of our last barrier, the skin and flesh. It's Fyodor Pavlov. Okay. She's like, yes, ma'am. Um, so feeling okay. While in herbalism, it closes the wounds of our last barrier, the skin and flesh, sealing the wound energetically. It closes wounds. So on an energetic level, our energetic wounds that we have, closes wounds we have in our body, energy bodies, in our aura. When someone's words strike us and cause harm in ways we characterize as being quick, cut to the quick, or stabbed in the back, or when even the most well intentioned person is sharp, such communication can break our boundary and we will lose energy just as we lose blood with a physical wound. Yarrow seals the aura and strengthens our shields. If our aura is too contracted, Yarrow helps us find space. And if we are too loose and without clear boundaries, Yarrow helps us set our limits from an appropriate distance. So watch out for those loose people. And we have somebody else. Hello, Amber. Amber A. I don't know if I've seen you in my chat before, but welcome. Um, so the divination meaning, and I'll show it, just so I can refresh everyone's memory. This is the card. So apparently this is Chiron handing, the U over to Achilles. Um, let's see here. The divination, I'm not going to worry about the reversals right now, but Yarrow indicates that it's time to consider who and what is allowed in your life. If you have a tendency to close down and limit yourself, consider opening to new people, situations, and even new spiritual allies. New spiritual allies. Kristen, you're starting to work with Lilith now. You have a new spiritual ally. Very interesting. Um, if you tend to be very open, perhaps you should pull back a bit and focus upon deepening the relationships you already have in your life. If you can help someone in need, someone who has been harmed, now is the time to offer aid, like Chiron offering Yarrow to Achilles. And that's interesting because I know that you've been wanting to open more, you want to express more, and don't want that for you to feel like you can't that you shouldn't be speaking about who you are. I know you have, I think it's December 2nd, you're doing your story in the cards. Um I can never get that right with Bobby's channel. Um but you're going to be being interviewed with Bobby on your spiritual journey and who you are. And I know you've been concerned about sharing that with, your story with Bobby and with us. But you know, of course, only share, what it is that you feel comfortable with. But at the same time, um, don't be afraid to be who you are, my dear. You have an amazing light. You have been through a hell of a lot. You're an incredibly strong woman, and don't be afraid to speak your truth. So, thank you. So this is your first time here. Oh, welcome then. So yes, it's not story in the cards, but Bobby does incredible interviews with people. How he created that is just the fool's, it's not the fool's journey, but it's taking you through your spiritual journey. Through, who would be a great person too for Bobby to interview is you, Allison. You've been, your story is very interesting as well. Behind the cards. There we go. Behind the cards. Just think of behind the music, like VH1. Remember we used to do the videos, documentaries, music that. So behind the cards. So there you go. So alrighty, Kristen. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. Up next is Sandy. And let's see what we get for Sandy. I'm going to take another quick sip. Pop-up video. Yep. Pop-up video. That was annoying sometimes, though, trying to watch that. And then they just kept doing the little pop-ups during the thing. Okay, so Sandy. What is Sandy going to get? Sandy got Allison's favorite. Sandy, you got the Witch's Garden. And there's we got some bumblebees. We got a dragonfly in there. I love the balance of the male and the masculine. A little butterfly down here. So yes, nice. We got the mandrake root, the female drake. I don't know, but she's pretty cool. So that is yours, Sandy. And let's find out what this card here is all about. That's the last one. Latin name, there's none. So these include all the planets. So it's not one specific herb. So it includes all the elements. So the Witch's Garden is the alpha and omega of the work of the Green Witch. Here, the seeds are first planted. Some are with loving attention, others are scattered randomly, and more still enter wild upon the winds, waters, and the limbs of creatures who spread them. The witch's garden is filled with both cultivated beauty and wild weeds. Both are welcomed. Here in the garden, things take root and grow, often in places often in places other than where they have been planted, showing the same defiance in the green world that a witch has to our greater society. We will grow where we want, not always where we're planted. The green allies of the witch's garden bloom and bear fruit, or go to seed and begin the cycle all over again. The garden contains medicines and poisons, both held in beauty. Many require careful tending and demand our attention, but most grow wild, doing better in disturbed soil than behind the perfect picket fence. Many of the darkest and deadliest of plants need full sun to grow their shadowy powers, and others need the shade of the north side or beneath a tree, as if in a forest with dappled sunlight. Many of the witch's banes are quite thirsty and need more water than you would expect to thrive, but can also survive the drought. The garden welcomes the insect and the arachnid, the creeping, crawling worms and slugs, and the four-legged and winged creatures that may come to feast and heal. Nothing must take too much, for the witch has their own plans for these medicines and magic. Love that. So, plant spirit medicine. So, Sandy, the medicine of the garden is all medicines, but in truth, it is the return to the earth and all that it has to offer beyond the single virtues of any one plant. While still a garden, the witch's garden harkens back to the mystery of the hedge, the meadow, the valley, the swamp, and the forest, and all that is to be discovered in each place. The witch's garden is our attempt to bring a bit of each sacred space to our home, to our own land, and to see our allies each day growing and thriving all around and through them. Keep more connected to the mysteries of nature, and through them, keep more connected to the mysteries of nature further afield. The witch's garden is a return to our true nature as one of the many wild things, helping us find the primal magic in the midst of our domestication. Hello, Faces in the Stone. Don, how are you? Good to see you, my dear. And Janet's here. Hello, Janet. So, Sandy, the divination for this card, the Witch's Garden. Show that up again for people coming in, for you. The Witch's Garden depicts two primary baneful allies as the Lord and Lady of the Garden. So that's the Lord and the Lady of the Garden. Mandrake and Datura. So Datura, that's her right there. The Lord of the Mandrake is in both flower and fruit, indicating both the potential and the fulfillment of potential, while the Lady of Datura has her white trumpet flowers wide, delivering divine messages and psychic information. Individually, they each bring their virtues of their own plant spirits as written in their own entries, but together they are the mix of manifestation and reception, the twin powers to receive information and ideas and then act upon them as a magical force of creation. This continues. I don't think there's a, oh, so it continues. So the two gather around the pentacle, the witch's star embodying the five elements of earth, water, air, fire, and spirit at the topmost point. So that's what this pentacle represents, everybody. It's the elements of the earth. Let's see. These are the foundation stones of our garden. The material, emotional, mental, energetic, and spiritual components that go into the actual gardens we grow, but most importantly, to the inner gardens of our soul that we tend. The Witch's Garden card asks you, what seeds are you tending in the garden of your soul? Around them are the flowers from the garden, including the sunflower, the moonflower, and the five-petaled rose of the mystery, arranged in a middle pillar beneath the pentagram. So those are the flowers that they're mentioning right there, aligning the inner, outer, and deep forces within us and the world. Around the garden are the insect totems of the butterfly. Oh, there's a ladybug. Oh, I missed the ladybug. Oh, she's down there. Wow, that was way down there. So there's the little ladybug. My finger must have been on it. Dragonfly and bee, symbols of transformation, gentleness, breaking illusions. That would be the dragonfly. And alchemical work, respectively. The roots of the mandrake and datura anchor our magical intentions into the world, bringing presence. The roots of the mandrake and datura anchor our magical intentions into the world, bring presence and manifestation to the witch's will. So isn't that beautiful? My garden is doing what it wants to at the moment. So kind of let your garden guide you, in what wants to grow there. That's beautiful how you got that. And that was mentioned in the beginning, how it can grow wild and be what it wants to be, and defiant, and blossom and bloom what it wants to. That's very interesting. But the message of that card is, what are you tending in your what needs tending in your own inner garden, within yourself, in your life, your spirituality, um, the balance, between the masculine and the feminine, and I think too, the underlying with all these cards is reminding us how connected we are of the earth, and how we need to be connected to the earth more, to get outside more, to get fresh air more. When the weather's nice, we can go for a walk in the woods. Or for me, I like to go by and walk or stand by the river here. Um, so just really reconnecting to our wild sides, to nature, because that's where we get the most healing, whether it's homeopathic, holistic, or even some pharmaceutical that works with certain, with nature. There's a balance between everything. So and what's Allison saying here? And so it is, love that witch's garden card. Beautiful. Yep. Every single day without fail, going outside. So that's your card, Sandy. And let me put that back there. Oh, because I'm bending over. Got to throw out my old chair now. I'm sitting in my hard plastic one. And no, you can't come up here right now. No, you can't. The new chair makes it hard. Yes, our own spiritual gardens too really need tending. Um, I mean, we're going through a stressful time right now for a lot of us. With the election. On top of it, we have Thanksgiving. Sometimes having to be with family members that maybe don't necessarily get along. And then you have the holidays, which is very stressful, with having to buy and go to people's houses for dinner and this and that. So this can be a very stressful time also. So it just kind of reminds us to make sure that we tap, into that inner garden, make sure that it's well taken care of. Hello, Ellen. My birthday's December 6th. Ange wanted to make sure that I got my birthday card to me sooner, because it's going to be crazy, after this Thursday, with the holiday shopping. So going ahead and pulling cards from people for people in chat. And I believe Allison, I think you're next. Yep. Woohoo! And I don't get to read for or pull cards for Allison very often. Girl, we still gotta let me know about 2 weeks ago or so. I think it was Karen and I, or was it Kristen and I, um, or was it Nancy and I? Well, I was reading with somebody, and we actually pulled cards for you, and I didn't know if that ended up resonating. I can't even remember what the reading was, so hopefully it did. So let's see. Oh, great! Now my kitty cat's gonna hack up a fur ball right here. See, this is why I did not want you on my lap. I had a funny feeling. Okay, so for Allison. Thistle. So this is the Thistle card again. So this is your card, Allison. None touch me with impunity. There we go. Go on with your bad self, girl. Oh, look at the two hearts, Allison, with the crown on it. Aw, makes me think of you and Anthony. So, and there's a green. Oh, and there's a green man in there with the antlers too. It's kind of hard to see, but there's his face and there's his antlers. Very, very cool. And this is Carduce Lance Clatus. Okay. As you can tell, I am not familiar with Latin. So I do my best. So let's see. Number 25. I am not going to be able to do 33 cards from my deck, let me tell you. 25 sounds like a good number. Cardus Lanceolatus. So the planets are Mars and Jupiter, which is a Saggy planet, and fire and air. And yes, none touch me with impunity. And I keep missing the affirmations. I'm going to have to go back and give you all your affirmations that come with the card. So, magical meaning in folklore, witches flying through the air are said to be as light as thistledown, affirming a strong link between witchcraft and this very magical plant. Like many of the witch's herbs, there is an inner and outer magic to it. The obvious magical signature is the thorns of the thistle, invoking the magic of protection. Not a medicine that is often talked about, thistle has been used for joint pain and for bleeding, both internal and external. That which harms and draws blood can also heal the wound. Thistle is deeply linked to Scotland, with legends of Norse invaders seeking to be stealthy, taking off their footwear to move through the darkness. One stepped upon the small but strong thistle and cried out in pain, alerting the Scottish clans to the invasion of the Norse, allowing for preparation and then success. The most ancient and noble order of the thistle, started in 1687, uses the flower as an emblem, including a breast star with the thistle and the words Nemo, Nemo me impun licet, licessit, none touch me with impunity. The inner world signature is due to the flight of the thistledown, indicating an aid in the witch's flight through sympathy, not the toxic chemicals of the traditional flying ointment, which has been typically like belladonna in the past. Thistle seeds can be blown into the air in an act of sympathetic magic to fly into other worlds or otherwise practice astral protection. Protection. Astral projection. Well, who knows? Maybe that wasn't an astral protection too, because when you do that, you do need protection. So, plant spirit medicine. The essence of thistle is protection, but protection by standing up for yourself against hostility, by standing in your truth and dignity. There is an elegance, a nobility to the common thistle, helping you stand up against bullies and abusive authority figures. Allison, is this card for you or for me? um, but I can see this for you, my dear. It's great in general for those who might not be attacked or abused, but who nonetheless feel insecure around others who express their own authority or act with confidence. Thistle can help you feel secure. Thistle is particularly protective when we are traveling or in unfamiliar territory in the physical or spiritual worlds. The divination meaning: when this thistle shows up, it indicates a time to stand in your own nobility and assert your own power. Thistle comes alive here as a fairy knight, ready for battle and to stand tall for justice, holding the Scottish flag. Exhibit the quiet exhibit the quiet strength within you and deal with the situation from a place of confidence and security. When two hearts are united for one cause, they become crowned and multiply their strength and power. And that's your card, my dear. I hope that resonated. I hope everybody's resonated. Oh, and the affirmation that goes with this is I stand nobly in my own power. And who did I just read? I read for Sandy. And Sandy, you had the Witch's Garden. Let me find the Witch's Garden. Oh, I also read for somebody who had Yarrow. And the Yarrow is I am protected from harm and open to possibility. And the Yarrow, that the and the Witch's garden is affirmation is I tend to the seeds of my intention in the garden of my soul. So there we go. All caught up. Let's see. I love that. Some of it really makes sense, and I'll watch it again later. Thank you, Heather. You're welcome, my dear. And so I'm going to have to wrap this up soon. So the last one is Christina. Christina, my dear, are you still here? Um, I'm on the free StreamYard now, so I have to make sure I have enough time for my regular shows. Allison and I are most likely going to be on Friday. We'll probably do about an hour. Christina's here. Okay. So stay tuned. She'll be spending the Thanksgiving holidays with loved ones. So we may jump on Friday night for about an hour. Okay, so Christina, who did you get? You got Poppy. You got the Poppy. And there she is dancing out of the poppy flower. There's a guy languid there. Ooh. I have family. Well, family's important. So that's, the good family, enjoy, Kristen. Enjoy your time with them. Let's see. Papa Vetter. I'm not even going to try that. I'll try it after I open the book, maybe. Because it's interesting, the printing on the cards are small, but thank goodness the printing in the book is bigger. So let's see, we are at card number 20, Poppy. Papaver somniferum. But then they added Orientale. So the planets associated with Poppy are the moon, Venus, and Mars. It's interesting. The male and the masculine, the moon, the Venus, the Mars. So the opium poppy has a long history rich with magic, medicine, and politics, being the source of the powerful class of drugs known as opiates. Yeah, we're having lovely times with these days with people. It's the root of morphine, opium, and heroin. Poppy has been linked to Neolithic humans and the lands of Sumer and ancient Greece use this both medicine and in the mystery traditions with a wide range of different species and varieties of poppy being such a widely cultivated flower. And just because I am mentioning these words, I'm just going to insert here YouTube. This is for entertainment purposes only. I'm just reading the book. I am not promulgating or propagating the use of opium, heroin, or any other drug that might be mentioned therein. This is just for educational and entertainment purposes only. So, carvings of many Greek goddesses are depicted holding poppy flowers. If we all remember, the Wizard of Oz, she fell asleep in a garden of poppies. The mother goddess Demeter transformed a young man she loved, Mechon, into the poppy flower. So maybe that's what the guy is in the artwork. Hypnos and later Morpheus, the gods of sleep and dreams, are associated with the plant. Rituals of the mysteries of life, fertility, death, and resurrection are within the realm of this plant's magic. Today, they are associated with remembrance rituals of the wartime dead. Along with sleep and death, the prolific seeds are associated with financial gain and abundance. Poppy has been used in love potion formulas to attract, enchant, and bewitch. Ooh. Like other plants with small prolific seeds, poppy can be associated with invisibility and confusion being particularly helpful in throwing off law enforcement seeking to capture or prosecute you. The seeds do not contain the opiate latex, but are still quite magical. Well, this is all new to me. So, yes, poppy is a flower of remembrance. So, plant spirit medicine. Though viewed often with suspicion in modern minds due to the heroin drug crisis, poppy has been traditionally considered as a great friend and ally to humanity. The essential nature of the poppy is in soothing and treating deep exhaustion and illness. Poppy helps us truly rest and regenerate, listen to our dreams, and let go of our sense of agendas, accomplishments, and competition. Which might be good too for this time of year because everybody, we have Thanksgiving, a day of Thanksgiving and being grateful for our loved ones and everything we have. And then people go and pummel the hell out of each other for Black Friday sales and stuff. So it's quite interesting. Um, Especially also too with the other holiday sales. So I digress. So um but it's interesting how it connects with the energy of this card with the time that we're currently in. Christina, I don't know what it's like in Australia, if there's like the same man, that what's the word, that fanfare, that madness that happens for the holidays. No, wait a minute, it's not the holidays necessarily for you now, Christina, because you're going into summer. So I'd be interested if you celebrate Christmas the same time around the world as we do and just associated with the summer months, or if you're actually going to wait until, already, let's see, if you already had Christmas earlier this year. That would be interesting. I have no idea. But one might argue that drug abuse takes that to an extreme, but when called upon in a healthy relationship, the poppy spirit brings balance between our sense of doing with structure and responsibility and simply being without rigid structures, allowing new creativity to develop. Um, I have already my Christmas up. Oh, so you are celebrating at the same time as we do. Okay. I wasn't sure how they switched that around in the southern tier with the difference of the year and with the weather changes. So divination meaning here, Poppy appears as a dream phantasm to the sleeping poet artist reclining in slumber. So here, this is the dream phantasma coming to the sleeping poet and artisan. Um, Reclining in slumber, surrounded by the stars outside and within. The twin guardian stag skulls, illuminated by candlelight, urge us to seek the truth between the horns among the stars. I love that, Christina. Poppy tells you to pay attention to your dreams and find your creative voice in those dreams. Let go of assumptions about yourself and what you can and cannot do, and find your creative sense of self. Enter into the mystery of your own being and return with your own treasures. Beautiful. So there's a pause here because I think a lot of us, myself included, and this is why I love all of our readings. Thank you, everybody, for letting me read for you because a lot of these messages all resonate with us. There are so many times that we don't give ourselves credit for things that we can do. There are some things that we can't. We allow those moments to take the joy or take the confidence that we can do other things as well. Um, and nowadays, with social media and everybody being so judgmental and having their opinions and putting their 2 cents in, and some people just enjoying the just the ability to bring another person down, to suck away their joy. Um, it's so important to that we just don't assume that we can or cannot do something. We have to try. So it almost feels kind of like a fool card in this way. taking that chance, taking that leap of faith, um, doing something that you may or may not be good at, but you'll never know if you don't do it. And so, and making sure that these are things that we truly want to do and not let, the negative voices of others or maybe even our own um, sense of self-doubt get in our way, Christina. So if there's something that you've been wanting to do, but you're not sure if you can do it, start baby steps. Try a little bit, do a little bit here, do a little bit there, but just, and again, this is a great message for everybody. Not assume that you can't do it unless you try. Because there are things that I've tried that I was, wasn't that successful at. And did that bring me down at times? Yes, it did. But now when I look back, it's like, at least I tried though, and it ended up putting me in a different direction. And, I mean, when I was younger, I was going to be a musician. I was going to be a singer. This is what I wanted to do. But then as I got older and my voice changed, I mean, maybe I could have pursued it along with my drums and stuff, but at the same time, people were telling me, "No, you really can't." But then also I saw the art. So I started saying, "Okay, well, I attempted it. I tried. I had fun. I still enjoyed it. I have good memories, but I'm going to try the art and follow through with the art." And I followed through with the art. So as long as we try, Christina, um, you'll never know if you know what will be. So whatever this is, that's the message. Pay attention to your dreams, maybe journal, write down the things that you want to achieve this coming new year. Or even just, not even waiting for the new year, just starting now, um, and not make assumptions on yourself and what you can or can't do. So, love that. So, that was the last reading for this evening. Thank you again, everybody, for joining me. For me sharing my new deck with you all. Thank you for letting me read. This is an incredibly beautiful deck. Um, Definitely when I have the extra or someone says, "Hey, you want to, you know, a Christmas gift?" So I think Shan and I probably will do a Christmas gift for us ourselves this year because we didn't do anything for our anniversary this year. Um, if I get to choose a deck to go with this, it's definitely going to be Allison that Theodore. Um, and it'll make a nice pairing. And yeah, everybody, if I don't get to see anybody else in chat or do another live before, for those of us in the States, I hope everybody has a safe um, and beautiful Thanksgiving dinner. Enjoy. Um, and we will see you on the next live. Thank you again, Ange. Much love to you, my girl. That's 3 decks now. So, yes, I'm grateful for every single one of you. Much love to everyone, and I will see you next time. I agree. Okay. All righty. Thank you, Christina, for letting me know. All righty. Good night, everybody.